welcome back to Google Earth Guru. This time I want to show teachers another resource for this particular instance. Let's take a look. Let's say I want to teach something pretty old, like maybe a Civil War era and what was happening in the Knoxville, Tennessee era. The problem is this imagery is fairly recent, it's from 2019. Knoxville did not look like that back in the Civil War times. So, a great resource. And this is a good resource even for those who don't want to use Google Earth as a dissemination platform. It's the Library of Congress. This has got a lot of good pictures, artwork, maps for a lot of really old stuff here in the United States. Highly recommend this for any American history teacher. Very searchable. I got Civil War maps here. I can click over here, go to General Maps, or I can peruse any of this other content for my history class. Or you can do a search up here. I'm going to type in Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm going to change this to Maps and do a search. And I've got some content here. I can look through this, maybe find an old map that works. Click on this. And here's a good map, and you can even zoom into it. Click and drag and move it around to get a view that you want. Then you can either save this as a JPEG or use the snipping tool to save this image, and I've covered that in the Google Earth Basics class. All right, once we have the image that we want, it might look like this. I've got this saved to my desktop. Now what I want to do is overlay that on top of Google Earth instead of this modern imagery. So I'm going to right click, add an image overlay. And I'm going to browse to where I have this saved. It's on my desktop and my Knoxville map. There it is. Now, it's not going to be exactly where we want, but we've covered this material before with image overlays. Let me call this my Knox map. And what I'm going to do to put this in exactly where I want is use this transparency line right here. So I'm going to move it down so I can see the map but also see through it. And I'm going to move this so that it overlays on top of the river. I'm going to use those rivers as a guide. Shrink this down, move it, put this on top of where the river is. Maybe something like that. When I'm happy with it, I move the transparency back to opaque, click OK, and now instead of the Google Earth modern day imagery, I have the old map that represents Knoxville in the era that I was going to teach. Make sure you, as always, to file, save my places. And now this will be my map. So for those who want to use this, here's the URL to the Library of Congress. I will also leave this link in the description of this video. So I hope that helps. Thanks for watching, and map your world.